Were you taken for a ride? And if you were, have you decided to get off yet? What I'm talking about here, obviously, is the Britney Spears and the Boosters, and I'm addressing this to people who were coerced and conned into getting it. I think most did it just to fit in. Everyone else was doing it, so that meant they did it as well. Some did it for more just practical reasons, that they wanted to go on holiday. At the time, I'm sure most of you didn't think you were being taken for a ride, but now I suspect you do. Maybe, you've got a touch of I don't know, heart palpitations, myocoinciditis. Maybe you've got some tinnitus. Maybe you just think your immune system isn't working as well as it used to do. Or maybe you've just seen a lot of people die suddenly. And of course, they all went to the concerts. Whereas the people that have got no health problems were those conspiracy theorists. Right, so really important point here is that the purpose of this video is not for me to gloat. Instead, I'm here today to urge you to decide right now that you've had enough of being taken for a ride. What I think you should do is to get out now and jump off before you're taken on a ride somewhere else that you might not like. I guess the other thing as well here is to just recognise reality, that it should be pretty clear to you now that the government doesn't work for you. In fact, they hate you, and they want fewer of you. They're Malthusians, You can't trust the NHS to look after you. When push comes to shove, NHS staff will do what's best for them, which is following health protocols, regardless of how those health protocols affect your health. And also to recognise that most of our institutions have become corrupted, and in particular the mainstream media has been lying to you for years. So what I want is for you to get off that train and stop being taken for a ride. And I think if you do that, if you do jump off that train and stop being taken for a ride, you'll suddenly start to feel a lot better about yourself. So I don't know if you've noticed in the newspapers, there's been sort of reports of, I don't know, people, just poor mental health, basically, people fighting over nothing, record numbers of people taking antidepressants. And so there's strong evidence that there are mental health problems, and maybe a lot of that is that the significant proportion of people who went to the Britney Spears and the Boosters, they know that they were taken for a ride, but they're desperately trying to deny that to themselves. They want to deny that they were taken for a ride. Their own ego prevents them from admitting that they were taken for a ride. So again, what I want to do right now is to urge you that the truth will set you free. And all you have to do is just acknowledge the truth, at the very least, the truth of what's happened over the last 3 years and what you did. So admit your errors, admit that you were taken for a ride, but please do it publicly, so that others can see what's gone on. This will this movement for truth will spread, and more people will be set free. At the very least, if you do that, it will be far harder for them to pull off similar stunts in the future. So by you getting off that train, it will make it harder for them to take other people for a ride in the future. So what's with the thumbnail? Well, it's of a YouTuber called the Macmaster, and I've mentioned him before on one of my other videos, and I'll put some links in to his channel. And he basically, he's got quite a few subscribers, so certainly more than me. Anyway, last week, I think it was, back end of last week, he posted a video where he said that he'd had a heart attack. So, the most important thing for me to just say now is, Lee, I hope you get better soon. And you're a very popular guy, and there's lots of other people who want you to get better as well. So, and I think you've actually felt that. I can see that from some of your more recent videos, and yeah. So do get better. We all want that. Now, the thing is, though, is that if you look at some of his other videos, he actually went to the Britney Spears and the Boosters concerts 3 times. And maybe the video that I'll post a link to is one of the ones that he actually did some videos about him going to the Britney Spears and the Boosters concerts. Maybe I won't post that one up because I don't want to get done for M&Ms on the Gulag Tube. But you can look at it on his channel. And it's quite interesting because you could see even then he was quite torn about getting it, but he did end up going 3 times. So what I would say in connection with that is that, it's not goodly, but, the NHS has let you down very badly. And also, you got taken for a ride, mate. And it's just good. It would benefit you and other people too to just admit that was the case, rather than saying it's, there's no need to give up your €1 pints, mate, or, I don't think you were doing any of that to excess or give up on an odd portion of fish and chips or whatever. There's no, because we actually do know, and I think you in your heart of hearts do know what caused your heart attack, and it wasn't what you were eating or drinking. It was what the I don't know, that 3-letter organisation, the biggest organisation in Europe actually in terms of employment. It's what they gave you. It's what they poisoned you with, and people took money to do that. So you don't need to be thanking them for poisoning you. That's the brutal truth of it. And I think what you need to do now, Lee, mate, is just obviously get well soon, of course, but you need to just stop being taken for a ride. Just stop it, and basically tell the truth. The truth will set you free. You can speak in code, so you can actually get the message over. And also, I've noticed that another YouTuber, Jeff by Cars, has been a little bit more, has been doing some of that work for you. But I think you need to do it yourself, because it's also about other people too. You've got a massive following, far bigger than mine, and you've got the power to influence people. And what we want is for more people to stop being taken for a ride. So one more time, Lee, I hope you get better soon. I don't think you'll be having any more of the Britney Spears and the Boosters, but please just call it out, mate. Just don't, please don't praise the NHS, because they just do not deserve your praise. Anyway, I won't say any more, but God bless, and I'll pray for you, Lee.